Hey everyone, Hallie here. About a week ago, I posted a video about things I would like to see added into Elden Ring Nightreign, and in that video, I said if you guys commented down below on things that you would like to see added into Elden Ring Nightreign, I might make a follow-up video sharing my thoughts on what you guys had to say. And well, you guys seem to really enjoy that video, which I gotta say I really appreciate, and left quite a few comments. So in today's video, we're gonna be looking at some of the comments you guys left, and I'm gonna be sharing some of my thoughts on them. So if you do enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like. If you have more thoughts, be sure to share them down in the comments below. I really do appreciate it, but let's go ahead and jump right into it. I feel like it's a good place to start with the most liked comment, as people probably agree with that. This person said, strength faith build would be very cool. Medium sword and shield with a focus on fundamental incants, some kind of Holy Knight focused character. I totally agree. Currently in Elden Ring Nightreign, I'm pretty sure a lot of the magic-based characters are both faith and magic. So first of all, it'd be very cool to have a standalone faith character, and specifically one with a shield would be really interesting. There is quite a few things they could do, and there's quite a few weapons that use magic-based abilities, like even in Nightreign. I could definitely see this character doing pretty well. And this actually is a pretty common theme of people requesting some sort of faith-based knight. There was another person who said, I would love to see a tank mage. The director on an interview said that they were working on a macho wizard. That would be so cool. And I totally agree. Some sort of tank wizard or some sort of knight that, works not only with shields but also magic would be really cool. I guess the main thing I'm curious in is how would they balance this character? I assume maybe, a lack of intelligence to make up for a high faith-based stat. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. I feel like that would make sense. But this was a pretty popular idea that I saw in two different comments, so I definitely wanted to bring up. And yeah, I think, some sort of faith-based knight would be really cool. And not to mention, they could also implement some sort of incantations unique to that character. So great ideas, and also an idea that was shared not only in the most liked comment, but also another comment. So something you guys definitely want to see. And I agree, a faith-based knight would be super cool. Another person said that for a new character, I'd love to be able to play as a hunter or Crucible Knight, or even that elemental knight from Shadows of the Erdtree. I forgot his name. This is a great idea, and in fact, Crucible Knights are currently in Elden Ring Nightreign, and this got me thinking, what if there was a character where you could become the enemies? So maybe, if you're fighting a frenzy flamed troll, one of their abilities is to become the frenzied flame troll, and then you could have their abilities. I think something like that would be really cool. Of course, they could do some sort of Crucible Knight dedicated character, and give them unique abilities. The Crucible Knight already has a very unique moveset, so I could see why this person wants to play as them. I'm not sure what character this person is specifically referring to from Shadows of the Erdtree, but there are quite a few really cool characters from that DLC that I'd love to just see implemented. What if we saw a pot character? We saw a bunch of pot people in that DLC. I think it'd make really a lot of sense and be pretty cool to see some sort of pot character. I would love to see that. It'd also be pretty unique. There are so many characters from Shadows of the Erdtree that we could take elements from. Another thing I was thinking of just reading this comment was the fact we could have some sort of perfumer added. Currently within Elden Ring Nightreign, perfumers are really limited to only consumable items. It's not like a weapon as it was within Shadows of the Erdtree, but a character dedicated around using the perfume bottles as weapons could be really cool. And also, it's something that has been previously used in a From Software game, so it would fit perfectly in Elden Ring Nightreign in my opinion. And the last character suggestion that I wanted to cover was, I gotta be honest, my favorite. I love this idea. This person said, character idea, one of those formed armed mannequins. I love this. And they even came up with some abilities, which makes my life even easier. This person said, with a passive to be able to hold more weapons and use 2 more weapons at once. I think this is really cool. I think one thing they could also do is make it so, maybe they have unique stances where with colossal weapons, maybe they use 2 different arms to hold on to it so that you have 2-handed attacks while it's technically one-handed, if that makes sense. I think something like that would be really cool, and it also kind of makes sense with their passive. But yeah, fantastic idea for their passive. They also said their first ability is when mannequins do that rapid fire spin attack, which would be good for status effects. I think that'd be pretty cool, a status effect based ability. Pretty neat. And they said that the ultimate could be summoning 2 more mannequins that don't disappear from a timer, but they have very average health. So essentially the idea of summoning some buddies as your ultimate to help you out. I love this idea. First of all, it's so unique. It completely separates this character from other characters within the game. The ability ideas is so cool. I love the character design too, and it's also already in Elden Ring Nightreign. So I mean, I really don't have any notes for this idea. I loved it. I love fighting the mannequins within Elden Ring Nightreign. Just the way they're designed is so cool. So being able to play as one would be even cooler. Absolutely fantastic idea. Really no notes. I think it's so fun, and I'd love to play as one of the mannequins. So not only did you guys have some character ideas, but there was also some general tweaks to the game that you guys would like to see that I feel like it would be a mistake to not mention within this video. So let's go ahead and talk about some ideas that you guys would like to see implemented within Elden Ring Nightreign and some changes the community would like to make. A very common theme that I saw was the idea of more maps. Of course, you know, as I talked about in that video, people would like to see more maps. You know, whether that comes within a DLC or ideally an update, we'll just have to wait and see. But yes, maps would be great. This one person commented something that I really agree with. They said that game really needs a bi-weekly update, adding Elden Ring bosses and more Dark Souls bosses, in my opinion, up until the DLC. And I totally agree with this. One thing I am a bit worried about with Elden Ring Nightreign is if it follows the Oblivion Remastered situation, where they release the game and then they don't update it with another, you know, more content for another 7 weeks. Not you know, Oblivion didn't get a content update in 7 weeks. It got a normal patch. But what I'm saying with Elden Ring Nightreign is, how long are we going to have to wait until we get more DLC and more content, and will that affect the player base for the game? Certainly something to think about. I am definitely making my way through the Night Lords. I think I have about 4 left that I need to beat, and I'm having a great time with Nightreign, but my concern is, you know, in about a month or so, how many people are still going to be playing this game? How fresh is it still going to be? I don't know, something just to think about in a content update, or some sort of, as this person said, new bosses or something like that would really freshen it up a bit. And I think, you know, adding Elden Ring bosses is a fantastic idea. Dark Souls bosses, they've already done. I totally agree with them there. And the last comment I wanted to mention today, I think kind of wraps together this video pretty nicely. I'm just going to read their whole comment. They said, I think they'll continue to add updates to this game long term. They will look to use this as a bridge to the next game, which I totally agree with. More characters, either more shifting tides or more maps, new weapons, etc. I would also love to see a buff to Guardian's dodge. He is a bird. Why can't he do a fly dodge or something? I totally agree. I totally agree with this. He has a bird character. He should be able to, like, fly up to, like, a flying enemy and whack them. I don't know why that's not a thing. I totally agree. But I think that's a great place to leave this off. I do think Elden Ring will be a bridge into From Software's next game, or at least its practice. You know, just seeing what players like. Something to think about. But yeah, what would you guys like to see added into Elden Ring Nightreign? What did you think about some of the community's ideas? Let me know down in the comments below. I thought this would be a fun video just to talk about some of the comments that you guys left. But yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. And thank you for leaving those comments. It's so fun to be able to look at what you guys have to say and talk about it. So thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to not only watch this video, but to leave a comment if you did. So thank you all so much for watching to the very end of this video. I would like to give a very special thank you to my YouTube members, Ash Tree Dweller, for giving me $1 a month. So if you're interested in joining that, you can look at my YouTube member page. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching to the very end once again, and let me know if you'd like to see more Elden Ring Nightreign videos, or, you know, just what you'd like to see in the future. I appreciate you guys sticking with me as I mix things up a little bit. I honestly just got a little bit burnt out on Marvel Rivals. Maybe I'll return to it someday, maybe I won't. But I have a lot more fun just talking about things that I'm personally interested in. And Nightreign is just one of those things that I'm currently personally interested in. So I just want to say once again, I know I said it 16,000 times at the end of this video, but thank you guys so much for just sticking with me and allowing me to make these videos. It really does mean the world to me. And with all that being said, thank you for watching.